It wasn't supposed to happen like this. We were meant to be so much better than this. Above it all, you know? This is the kind of thing that only really happens in nightmares or in the movies. So how did I end up here?
You okay? I left my battery on the charger. Fuck.
After airsofting for over a decade now, we're sadly all too familiar with the fact that forgetting even one thing on your way to an airsoft match can be disastrous, especially if there isn't a replacement that you can borrow or just rent at the location where you're playing. So in today's lesson, we'll be showing you how you can make sure you are always 100% prepared when you head out for a match. Now, we've provided a checklist in the description, and you should definitely take advantage of it, but we're going to be using this time to explain some of the prep that you should be doing aside from just throwing things into a bag. Starting with the big one, our primary. Now, we've discussed preventative maintenance in the past, as well as cleaning, and these are important things to do, but at the very least, you should test fire your gun to make sure it's cycling. This is also a good time to inspect for any damage that could have been caused during the last match, which can be very easily overlooked during the rush of packing out. Catching problems early can help you stop them from getting worse, so take your time on this part. Also vitally important to our weapon's functionality is the power source. Now, for the batteries of AEGs, you might want to consider checking them with a voltmeter occasionally. We're still collecting voltage data, but we will have a full video on the topic coming in the very near future about when it's time to replace your battery. Regardless, it's just a good idea to always bring at least 2 batteries, so if one decides that its time has come, then you're not totally doomed. When it comes to gas, obviously you want to make sure that you're bringing enough of it, but importantly, you should be checking the condition of all the tanks, threads, valves, and hoses for signs of deterioration that could ultimately lead to a sudden and usually very frosty failure. While CO2 technically doesn't have an expiry date, the containers housing it do. The lifespan will vary greatly depending on how it's stored, but this is just something to be mindful of. Now, this is a personal preference, but I like to transport everything related to my primary weapon in a single case, mainly so everything is locked in place and not crashing into other items in the equipment bag. Optics in particular are delicate, so pack them well and make sure to use the covers if you've got them. Another thing you can throw in here and instantly forget about is a cleaning rod. That way you'll always have one if you need to clear a jam. Regardless of all the extras that you put in the case, you should never be carrying weapons in the open, so investing in either a case or a backpack is an absolute must. Speaking of a backpack, you'll probably want one for all the other gear that's necessary. One thing that takes up a lot of space and weight is ammo, and while it's tempting to pack it near the top for quick access, it will throw off your center of balance quite badly, so try to pack it in the middle or near the bottom. This also has the benefit of stopping them from crushing things beneath. Depending on how many extra mags you need to be carrying, then it might be a good idea to get an external mag carrier pouch so they are safe from damage as well. The best thing you can be doing for yourself before matches is simply double checking everything. The checklist we've made for you in the description is a solid starting point, but you should absolutely be modifying it to suit your needs properly. What ultimately matters is that you're going over it before you leave so you don't become another victim. Another way you can do that is to make sure that your gun isn't falling apart from the inside out. So check out our video on how to go beyond simple inspections. Thank you so much for watching. Class is dismissed.